Courteney Cox is open to returning as Gale Weathers in Scream 6. Actress Courteney Cox says she'd be open to returning for Scream 6. Cox has starred in all 5 of the Scream movies thus far, beginning with the 1997 original from director Wes Craven. Cox's Gale Weathers begins the franchise as a news reporter who is working the Woodsboro Ghostface murders, eventually getting wrapped up in solving them herself, teaming up with Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott and David Arquette's Deputy Dewey Riley. Thus far, Cox has managed to survive the franchise, while nearly everyone else from film to film has perished under Ghostface's knife. Cox has been involved in a number of projects throughout her career, most notably as Monica on the hit TV show, Friends. She was also in the first Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren, later appearing as Michael J. Fox's love interest in the show Family Ties. Cox also famously appeared in Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, as well as starring in the show Dirt on FX, before moving on to the hit show Cougar Town on TBS. She'll next star in the horror comedy series Shining Vale for Stars. In an interview with Comic Book.com, Cox is asked if she'd be keen to return for the recently announced Scream 6, to which the actress says she would, attempting to avoid the spoiler of whether she survived Scream 5, aka Scream 2022, jokingly saying, "Does that mean I didn't die?" While Cox is shot and beaten in Scream 2022, she is seen alive and well talking with Sidney at the end of the film, which signifies her survival and potential availability to appear in the next installment. Cox goes on to say that it was a fun experience making the new film, and that original director Wes Craven would be proud of the work the new directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette did in continuing the series, which she likens to a relaunch. Here's her full quote. "Okay, if I'm allowed to say that, of course. What a fun experience to have such a long-standing series of movies, and this one just feels completely invigorated in a new way. And it's a relaunch, not a 5th episode, whatever you call it. It's a relaunch and the directors are incredible, and I think Wes would be looking down and saying, I'm so happy it's Matt and Tyler." The Scream franchise was created by writer Kevin Williamson, who also wrote Scream 2 and Scream 4, but opted out of Scream 3, which was written by Aaron Kruger, The Ring. The first 4 films were directed by legendary horror filmmaker Wes Craven, who passed away in 2015. Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillette, part of the filmmaking collective known as Radio Silence, both wrote and directed Scream 2022, which was executive produced by Williamson. The success of the latest film has led to the team being rehired for Scream 6, which will be their next endeavor. After the death of Dewey in Scream 2022, the franchise's last remaining original stars are both Cox and Campbell. With the franchise continuing and more Ghostface murders on the way, it seems entirely plausible that one of the two will die in Scream 6, assuming both return for the film. Cox is willing to come back, but Campbell has yet to comment on a return for another romp in Woodsboro. As sequels go, the chances for survival on recurring characters get weaker and weaker, but it's also possible that Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillette have something special up their sleeves for Scream 6 that could subvert those expectations entirely. Lightyear trailer reveals redesigned Zurg in Chris Evans' Pixar movie. Disney unveils a new Lightyear trailer revealing a redesigned Zurg in the Chris Evans-led Pixar movie spin-off of the Toy Story franchise. The new film serves as the definitive origin story of the hero Buzz Lightyear, who would go on to inspire the action figure of the same name voiced by Tim Allen in the original Toy Story films. The story will see the young test pilot tasked with an intergalactic adventure by the Star Command in an effort to escape from an alien planet. Chris Evans leads the cast of Lightyear in the titular role alongside Keke Palmer, Dale Soules, Taika Waititi, Peter San, Yuzo Aduba, James Brolin, Mary McDonald-Lewis, Efren Ramirez, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. Though development on the spin-off began shortly after Finding Dory, the film wouldn't properly be announced until the 2020 December Investor Day, where Evans' casting was also announced. After 5 years of development and production, Lightyear is gearing up to soar into theaters this summer. With a few months remaining until the film's arrival, Disney has released a new Lightyear trailer. The video offers a deeper insight into the plot of the film as the titular hero seeks to save other humans from being stranded on an alien planet, while also revealing a redesigned Zurg, all set to the tune of David Bowyer's Starman. The reveal of the redesigned evil Emperor Zurg in the new Lightyear trailer should come as an exciting tease of the evolution the film is bringing to its iconic characters. In the Toy Story films, Zurg served as Buzz's archenemy, but wasn't nearly as imposing, as he was a parody of Darth Vader from the Star Wars franchise, even recreating the father reveal from The Empire Strikes Back with his appearance in Toy Story 2. The redesigned scene in the trailer establish him as a far more menacing antagonist than in the past, thanks to a larger stature for his suit and more invulnerable to Buzz's firing while still retaining his iconic red eyes, horned helmet, and triple-barrel weapon attached to his arm. The new Lightyear trailer also offers some promising insight into the titular character's development from a young test pilot into the hero that would inspire the fan-favorite action figures. Additionally, the video gives viewers a better glimpse into the voice work Evans provides as Buzz, which may feel very reminiscent to Marvel Cinematic Universe fans, to the subtle humor of the actor's work as Steve Rogers, a Captain America. Only time will tell how audiences respond to the Toy Story origin spin-off movie when Lightyear hits theaters on June 17th. Why Zurg looks so different to Toy Story. Lightyear's Zurg is a far cry from the Toy Story original, but the design change makes perfect sense for Chris Evans' Space Ranger. The first trailer for Disney's upcoming Lightyear playfully teased Emperor Zurg, the nemesis absent father Buzz encountered in Toy Story 2. A second Lightyear trailer now reveals Zurg in all his Vader-esque glory. In addition to Zurg's drone henchmen, the Zurg bots, Evans' Buzz Lightyear battles the Big Boss himself, a towering robotic enemy armed, quite literally, with a heavy 3-barreled cannon. Lightyear's trailer doesn't reference Zurg by name, but there are enough visual cues to make that connection: his bright red eyes, the spiky horns, a glowing green weapon, etc. Nevertheless, Lightyear's Zurg wouldn't even win second place in an Emperor Zurg lookalike competition. Whereas Chris Evans' Buzz Lightyear is almost identical to his predecessor from Toy Story, considerably more creative liberties have been taken with Lightyear's mechanical menace. There's no chunky yellow-toothed grin. Zurg's tunic is replaced by actual legs, and though you can just about glimpse the purple armor, his palette is way more understated than the monster who plagued Rex's dreams in Toy Story 2. Taking Edna's advice, Zurg has also ditched the cape. Zurg's redesign is no cosmetic reshuffle, it's a reflection of the direction Lightyear is taking Buzz Lightyear. There remains a touch of confusion over exactly how Lightyear connects to Toy Story, but Angus McFarlane, Lightyear director, confirms it's the movie Andy might have seen in cinemas before he became a Buzz fanatic and gave Woody the boot. By that logic, the double-tough android Buzz fires his little light bulb that blinks, and in the Lightyear trailer, is the in-universe movie character that could have inspired the action figure we see in Toy Story. Real-life merchandisers will sometimes soften characters to look more kid-friendly. Perhaps that's how Zurg went from Lightyear's colossal behemoth of metal and intimidation to Toy Story's bright purple cartoon baddie. In truth, Lightyear's relationship with Toy Story canon is even looser than McFarlane's description suggests. Pixar fans shouldn't expect a post-credit scene where Andy excitedly leaves the movie theater, begging his mom to buy a Buzz Lightyear action figure for his birthday. Lightyear is simply a movie based on the Buzz Lightyear figure's fictional backstory, as detailed by Toy Story. Consequently, Lightyear can rewrite canon and redesign characters as it sees fit, and the Zurg makeover specifically speaks to Lightyear's darker, more serious tone. The Toy Story movies are, spoiler alert, all about toys, and making an intimidating toy like Zurg deliberately goofy enriches the character's comedy value. Lightyear, on the other hand, is a sci-fi movie that sprinkles classic Pixar humor onto a more earnest blend of Wall-E and Star Wars, a much more adrenaline-based adventure than Tim Allen's Buzz is used to, even if things got a bit hairy with those traffic cones. Hence, Zurg becomes a gigantic, fearsome cyborg rather than a Darth Vader parody, whose ultimate defeat comes courtesy of Rex's clumsiness. Lightyear's Zurg is less cartoonish in color, his horns are straight instead of comically devil-shaped, and the missing cloak lets him chase Buzz with ease, rather than tripping over flaps of fabric like a metallic moron. Modern Zurg barely talks, whereas Toy Stories barely shut up with that incessant "Destroy Buzz Lightyear" mantra. Again, this helps reimagine Zurg as a menacing, in the Pixar sense of the word, worthy opponent for Buzz and his team of space rangers to battle in Lightyear. The Naked Gun. Seth MacFarlane and Paramount Studios want Liam Neeson to star in Reboot. Liam Neeson is an actor capable of crossing into many genres, and it seems like he wants to take on an action comedy franchise next. This time with Seth MacFarlane in a new reboot of The Naked Gun. The comedy series that spawned 3 movies is a fresh and fun look at a detective who doesn't really know what he's doing in the best possible way. Pairing MacFarlane and Neeson for such an outrageous project is actually pretty perfect. Fans know MacFarlane for his animated sitcoms such as Family Guy and American Dad. But he has also proven himself time and time again as someone who has an understanding of comedy history and knows how to bring stories to life we all know and love. So something like The Naked Gun is a perfect venture for him to undertake. I've been approached by Seth MacFarlane and Paramount Studios to maybe resurrect The Naked Gun films, he told People, the TV show. Neeson went on to joke, "It'll either finish my career or bring it in another direction. I honestly don't know." Frankly, Neeson is a pretty good choice. The movies aren't just about the comedy. It is, after all, about a detective. A pretty lackluster detective. But still, a detective. The series was a staple in the comedy world for quite some time. Originally starring Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drabin, the movie follows a clueless detective through his cases, and if there's anything people love, it is a detective who has no idea what he's doing. Part of the charm came from Nielsen's comedic timing, but the premise itself was one that we could come back to time and time again and have it just work. Thanks to live-action comedies such as Ted and the Orville, having MacFarlane take on something like The Naked Gun works even if the guy isn't starring. Neeson has had moments of comedy in his career with movies like Love Actually, as well as working with MacFarlane in the past with movies like A Million Ways to Die in the West. Hopefully it pans out for both MacFarlane and Neeson, because seeing the two reunite with something like The Naked Gun would be incredible. Okay, stay tuned to our channel. I'll be providing you with up-to-date reliable movie news. Enjoy.